Happy Sunday, everybody. And of course, I'm going to get notifications as I'm going live. Okay, I know it's been like ancient ages, it seems like. You guys, I feel like every time I try to go live, something happens. Or something gets in the way of me coming live because my life has been so hectic lately. Whoops. But, anyway, happy Sunday. Hey, Caribbean. Hey, Amy. So, I wanted to come talk to you guys today because, I've been wanting to come live for a few days. It's been on my mind for about a week, this topic that I'm going to talk about. But it's crazy because Thursday night I watched an interview with Bishop T.D. Jakes and Stephen Furtick, and it touched on the same thing. And today's sermon through Elevation was on the same thing as well. But now, today talked about the paradox of progress, and the interview talked about crushing, Bishop's new book. But that was about turning pressure into power. So I want to talk about this, you guys, because, whoo, look, I can feel it already. Hey, Candy. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Michelle. So, let me turn this. There's no happy medium. If I want to turn it down, it's like turning it all the way up. I love this song. But anyway, so those of you who have followed me and have been on my social media for at least the last year and a half, 2 years, whatever, or even longer, y'all know, I've gone through some things. I've gone through a lot of things. a lot of things. And I'm still going through some things. And that's why I've been wanting to talk about this, and I've been trying to find the courage to get up and talk about this right now. I know I've touched base on some of it over the last year of where I was and at what point I had some change, but I see it so much right now, of everything that's going on, and currently even still in my life. Hold on, let me just pause this because I know Facebook's probably going to block it because there's music. So let me just turn it off. I hate not going with music. I love my music. And it also helps me at the same time. But anyway, so we all go through things. We all question those things sometimes. Things that we go through that are breaking us or tearing us down or maybe just make us emotional, and we're trying to figure out why we go through them. We're never going to truly, at that moment when we're experiencing those things, we're not going to know why we're going through it. We're just going to know that we're going through it, and we've got to dig deep, okay? And I see it so much, so many people going through so much, and I'm not saying this just about myself. I know so many people that are actively going through things that should be breaking them down or even taking them the whole way out. And, they might not be on the faith walk that I'm on. They might not be strong enough. They might not have somebody shining light on them, So this is why you guys hear me talk so much about less hate and more love. Because regardless of what people have done to you, you need to be that light for them. They might not have anybody. And you might be the only person near them that can shine that light for them. So that's what I want to talk about, because last year, y'all know I had my accident, and literally today and yesterday was the day that I went in for surgery number 3 of my accident, out of 6. Little did I know, I thought 3 and 4 was bad, but man, it just kept going. Y'all, I'm probably going to get emotional because that's kind of the inevitable with me. I can't always hold it back. So I'm just forewarning you guys, that's who I am. So last year I had my accident. They fixed my leg. Surgery 3 came about unexpected. I was only supposed to have the X fix and then the initial fix, but then things happened. Things changed. I ended up with a full-blown infection, could have lost my leg. It was just really horrible. Surgery 3 and 4 were within 36 hours of one another. And I wanted to die, y'all. I didn't want to be here no more. I kept saying, why am I still here? Why am I going through this? Why didn't my accident take me? So those of you who don't know the backstory of my accident, you might be like, what in the world is this girl talking about? But I was in a car accident that left me with this handy dandy thing for the time period until I can fully walk by myself. But I'm lucky to be alive. I'm very lucky to be alive. I'm so thankful that I am here, and I'm thankful that it was me and it was not my child. But that's why this is what I want to talk about, because you guys, that accident, one, it should have taken me out. Two, it didn't take me out. It kept me here. So I'm here for a far greater purpose. But at the end of the day, when surgery 3 and 4 hit, you guys, I hit the deepest, darkest moment in my recovery. Okay? I hit that point where I just could not get myself out of it. I was just miserable. My mom was like, if you're going to be miserable, I'm not taking you out the house. Like, I was going through so much. Like, and I kept it off social media. You know, I kept all that stuff off social media, and I tried to be positive. Like, y'all know me that have been on my page. Like, I bring the positivity. I try to uplift everybody. I share that with others because I know that others need that, and not everybody has that person for them. I don't care if I just met you today or I don't even know you. If y'all need somebody and you need some light shed, I'm going to be that light for you, because that's how I am. But too much right now, we see, my foot is caught on something. Sorry, y'all. Too much right now, we see so many people going through these storms and weathering them all by themselves. And they're deep and they're dark and they're falling in this rut and they can't get out. And everybody's like, oh, that person's so miserable, or they're doing this or they're doing that. Like, did you ever stop to think that maybe they need someone to say, hey, like, are you good? Or, hey, like, do you need to talk? Do you need somebody to, like, come spend time with you? Like, you don't know what the next person is going through. You don't know why that person is miserable. Like, yes, the people that were in my immediate circle or on my social media last year, they knew what I was dealing with because I was very open. I didn't sugarcoat it. I didn't hide it. I'm very, at that point in time, I was hiding a lot of my emotions. People knew I was down and I was depressed because, like, I just felt like I was never going to see the light. I felt like I was never going to get through it. And like I said, little did I know I was going to have multiple more surgeries. But at that point, surgery 3 and 4, it was just like, I'm never going to get out of this. I don't want to be alive. Like, why is this happening? I know I'm not here to suffer. Like, I've been on my faith walk for going on 6 years, you guys, but I still wasn't anywhere near where I'm at today. Okay. And I know this wholeheartedly because I know the person I was just 2.5, 3 years ago. And I know the person I was just right before my car accident last year. So, like, there's been a lot of growth. And it's like, now that I know the things that I know, when I look back at my entire almost 34 years of living, I look at how often God was really there pulling me out of so much. And I didn't even truly believe in him at one point. Like, so it was just so crazy because I was always questioning why, and like, why is this happening? I know I'm not here to suffer, like all these different things. Like, and I always had these dreams of, you know, being somebody that could help the youth, or being a female that could help, like almost like the big sister, you know what I'm saying? Like, they do the Big Brother programs and stuff. But like, I always thought of myself as somebody that could be that for other people because I've been through hell and back quite a few times, okay? I've been there and back quite a few times. But I'm still standing, you guys. I'm still standing, and that's why I come talk to you guys about the things that I do. Because no matter what I have gone through, no matter what has been sent to take me out, has not taken me out. Because I know that I'm strong enough, and I know my God. Like, you guys, like, it doesn't even make sense sometimes because I'm like, all the things that I've done, and I've asked for forgiveness, and God forgave me. Like, I'm not a perfect person. Nobody's perfect, okay? So please don't think that I'm sitting here saying, oh, well, I'm better because I'm still standing. It's not even like that. But I know there's always people that are going to pass judgment. So to each their own. But I'm just saying, like, I've been wanting to talk about this. I've been wanting to talk about where I was last year. A year ago today, at this moment, like, I wanted to end it all. I wanted to end it all. I questioned why I was still here. Why did this happen? Why am I still here to go through all of the things that I was going through, like from X-Fix to surgery to surgery to surgery to surgery to surgery to surgery. I had 6 total. Like, so it's crazy. Like, and the fact that I'm walking and I can actually take some steps without my cane, like I'm pushing myself to get further. And I know that God is going to allow me to walk again wholeheartedly without that cane. Like, I know it. I just got to keep pushing. I got to keep making progress. Every step in the right direction is progress. It doesn't matter if it's like an inch of progress or it's a whole lot of progress. Progress is progress, and you need to celebrate that every single day. Your ups, your downs, your ins, your outs, all of it. You need to celebrate that, and you need to understand that everything that you're going through is meant to push you further. It's meant to help someone else at the same time. You know, this is why, like I was talking about last week's interview with Bishop T.D. Jakes and Stephen Furtick. You guys, I love Bishop and I love Pastor Furtick. I am like, I will see them both preach live one day. Like, it's going to happen. I will make that happen. But I got to watch their interview last year when he interviewed him for his book, Soar. I fell in love with that book. I fell in love with that interview. That interview spoke so much to me, and that was before my accident. But they just did their interview this past week talking on his new book that's coming out on Tuesday, called Crushing. And it's called Crushing because it's talking about turning pressure into power. You know, and everything that we go through is meant to, like, you know, it's breaking us down, but you guys, it's meant for us to help other people. We are all going through things, but we are all going through those things so we can share them and help somebody else along their journey. They might not know how to get out of it, but you might be in that person's life and might be able to help lift them up. Or you might interact with somebody that you might not barely know, but your story could help them. So that's why, like, yes, we are getting crushed along our journey. We are getting crushed to have a better breakthrough. Like, there's so many reasons we go through this stuff. Like, we need to stop asking why. We need to trust God in the process. And we need to know that he is doing this and allowing, like, he's helping us through it. He is already ahead fighting the next battle. So when you feel like you want to give up and you want to throw in the towel, you need to dig deep down inside you. Because let me tell you, last year, everybody kind of just, like, I was in my own personal, I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to deal with nobody. I was so down and I was so depressed because I just was like, I'm never going to walk again. Like, I was going through all these things. And then it was like, you know what? No, I need to dig. I needed to dig deep, and I needed to start seeing myself on the other side of this, and I needed to start getting closer to God, and I needed to start feeling like this isn't going to break me. This is not going to keep me here. This is not going to stop me from living my best life. This is not going to stop me from growing and doing things with my son. Like, this is like, I started to think like that, because what we think about and what we speak about, when we put that into the atmosphere, that is exactly what we will get back in return. So if we're constantly speaking negative things and we're constantly thinking negative things, that is exactly what we're going to get. So we need to stop doing that. I mean, and you know, there's always that extra voice that's back here. I call her Linda. She's always back here trying. She's trying to pull me back that negative route, but I'm stronger than that. And I know that my God is all in me. He's constantly working in me and through me. So I know that if I just keep taking the right steps and I keep putting one foot in front of the other and I keep working on growing my faith and growing my mindset, my personal development, I'm only going to get further. I'm only going to grow more. I'm only going to have more growth. I'm stretching myself through all of the storms. You guys, I went through all of that stuff this past year. Those of you who have been on my social media know that I also was supposed to have a surgery before my accident happened. Like, my surgery was set for March of last year. My accident happened in February, okay? So I still have to deal with all of that stuff that I was dealing with before my accident happened. I'm currently going through a lot of that right now. I actually was at the hospital today for another MRI, just trying to check on things before we go in to operate, because I actually have to have an operation and I can't put it off. Like, it's at the point that it has worsened since we saw it last year. So I need to take care of it. So unfortunately, I'll be going under the knife again. But I know that God got me. I know that God is using me. You guys, like, it's crazy because every single doctor or nurse or staff at the hospital that I have seen in the last week, because I've been in there a lot. I've been in there at least 3 times this week. I have not posted it on social media because it's just been, I've been trying to keep my stress levels down, with that. So, because of some other things. because there's something else new going on. But again, I could sit here and I could let it break me down. Okay, you guys, I'm about to be 34 this year, and I have dealt with a boatload of things that I don't even understand sometimes. But I don't even question it anymore, because I know that God is using me. Like, I know wholeheartedly He is using me to share my story, to be a voice, to show people that no matter what goes on in your life, you can get through it if you just dig deep within yourself and you get to the root of everything that, you know, whether it's the mental stuff. Maybe you have things from your childhood you need to work on or work through. Because I remember at one point I had a lot from my childhood that I needed to work through. And I did what I needed to. I went to counseling. Mental health awareness, you guys, we need to talk about that, because there's a lot of people that neglect that. Okay, people think, oh, I'm good, I don't got them issues. Like, no, honey, you really do. Like, you really better dig deep. Because if you're wondering why things aren't working right for you, or you're wondering why this is always happening, it's the same pattern, then that means you got to work within you to fix it. You got to work within you to grow and be able to move forward to the next level, in the next season, the next chapter of your life. So a week ago, this is why I'm like trying to get my thoughts together here. So all this has been going on. All this has dug me down in a ditch, and I got out of it, and I started having that positive attitude. And I love hearing these doctors say, girl, keep up that positive attitude. You really got a lot of positivity coming out of you for somebody who's going through all that you are. And I was like, because I know better now. I didn't know this a year ago. If I would have known this stuff before surgery 3 and 4 happened, but you know what? Surgery 3 and 4, because they were back to back, they were meant to break me down to this point to learn something. And I learned this from that. So that is why I am sharing this. That is why I'm being vulnerable. I'm being very transparent. I like to, I don't keep what I go through a secret, but because when I'm ready, I'll talk about it. I am dealing with a lot of things right now, as far as some new medical things that just came out in the last week that I was unaware of. But we'll deal with that when the time comes. I don't know what's going to happen or what's going to come from it, but I know that I need to go. I used to have heart issues. We'll talk about it. Why not? I used to have a few heart issues that I was cleared from 5 years ago. I was cleared for 5 years. My heart was going really good. But I had something happen to me last Sunday that almost seemed like a heart attack. And my mom was with me when it happened. Thank God. And then it happened again on Monday. And I was in the doctor's. And I've been in the doctor's a few times for that issue. And we found that I have it's called a right bundle branch block in my electrical makeup of my heart. So there's an incomplete blockage in the electrical makeup. So back to the cardiologist I go. But again, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to let it get the best of me. I'm not going to let it break me down. I'm not going to let it do anything. I am going to fight the battle. I am going to trust that God is going to get me through it. And I know that God is already ahead of me working it out. I know that. And, and I love the fact that I can sit here and say that now, because had I found that out a year ago, that would have broke me down. That would have had me in tears. I'd be a mess. There's nothing I can do about it. It's out of my control. I just have to take it easy, and I have to do certain things to make my life a little bit less stressful right now. But I know that regardless, I have to have the neck surgery. We're going to deal with the heart thing as that comes. I'll be hearing from my doctor. I should be hearing from them tomorrow. As far as going back to the cardiologist. But again, I'm not going to let that get the best of me. Like I said, we all go through things that we don't understand. We don't understand why they happen, but just trust and believe that you are going through everything that you are to help somebody else. If you don't take nothing else I say from me, just know that regardless of what it is that you're going through, you're meant to share that and help somebody else. That's what it is. Because I know that, even my custody battle that I went through almost, what is it now? 6 years? I think it was 6 years ago. That broke me. You guys, that was the first thing I think that had ever wholeheartedly broken me down and like damn near knocked me all the way out. But it didn't. It knocked me down, but it didn't knock me out because it only helped me grow from there. And that is why, you know, I found myself numerous times since then utilizing what I went through and the growth and the lesson that I had learned from that to help other people already. My custody case was published worldwide because it made that much precedence in the superior court system. So, like, I know that my story in that alone touches many other people. So, like, but at that point in time, I was angry. I was miserable. I was like, why is this happening? That is, like, when I really started my faith walk. And, you know, and like I said, yeah, because it'll be 6 years in November that I've been on my faith journey. But it's May will be 6 years since that custody battle ended. So, yeah. So yeah, it's just crazy. Like, you guys, we all go through so much, like so much, even though it might be something little to you. It might be like, oh, well, that's not that serious, but maybe it is something so big to you. And you're like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know why I'm going through this. What lesson am I going to learn? Like, you need to find the message through your mess. And like, that is why I wanted to share what I was going through a year ago today with you guys, because a year ago today, like, y'all, I could have done so much, and my mind was in the darkest place, like the absolute darkest place. And I was just like, God, like, I need you to help me. Like, I need you to help me get me out of this, because like, I'm never going to make it. Like, that's just how I felt, because like, the dark cloud was just hovering and it just would not leave me. And, you know, I mean, obviously after the accident and all the surgeries at that point, like I said, little did I know I was about to go through even more than I had at that moment. But like I said, the lesson that I learned and the message that I received, and it has all helped me become the person I am today. It has helped me become a better person, a better mother, a better leader, I can speak, a better leader. And it has made me such a stronger, more positive person. Like, I could choose to be angry, but what is that going to do for me but cause stress on the ticker? I could choose to be miserable, but what is that going to do for me or those that are around me? Nothing, but make them like, oh, I don't want to be around her. You know what I mean? Like, you guys got to think about this stuff, and you got to think about how you talk to people. Just because you're going through something that might have you down or might have you in the dark doesn't mean the people around you deserve to be talked to the way that you may be. Because like, I know, like I said, my mom told me, I remember her looking straight at me a year ago saying, if you're going to have an attitude, I am not taking you out of this house. And y'all, I only got out the house that my mama came and got me. So that was the day I got to go shopping last year. I remember that. But yeah, like, so you can't, like, you just can't, because if you let this stuff keep you in that dark, negative place, if you let this stuff weigh you down, do you realize that all that is doing is affecting you? The negativity, the stress of the negativity is weighing you down. It is keeping that dark cloud closer. But if you are constantly reverting to the positive and you're speaking positivity over your own life, over your situation, you guys, the more you speak that positivity, the further away that dark cloud is going to get. Because when you start speaking and speaking and believing the positive things and seeing yourself on the other side of that obstacle, that storm that you're faced with, that dark cloud is going to be pushed away. Not saying it's not going to try and fight you back. While you're speaking positive, the negative's trying to creep in. You got to keep speaking the positive. So it just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to keep pushing it further and further away. Because if you don't, it's going to consume you. It is going to keep you in that place. It is going to lead to other things. It's going to keep you depressed and miserable. And nobody wants that. You don't want that, and I don't want that for you. Like, I love the fact that I can look at things. Now, granted, do I have my days? Yes, I'm human. So, of course, I may have a bad day. But let's face it. My life is a lot worse. Like, could be a lot worse. Not it is a lot worse. But it could be a lot worse than what it really is. I go through these things but you know that there's somebody out there that would give anything to have my bad day. You know what I mean? So, like, why should we keep what's going on and keeping us down in the dumps? Why should we put that out to everybody? Why should we be negative and let everybody else get affected by our negativity? We don't want people's negativity, so why should we give them ours? You know, like, I talk about what I'm going through with the people that are close to me. And then, like, when I'm ready, I'll talk about it on social media. But, like, I know that, like, I needed to get through this last week. This last week was very rough. I was in bed a lot. Thank God I can work from home in my bed from my phone. Because it didn't matter what I did. I was winded. I was having heart issues. Like, I just had, like, I literally, other than my appointment days, I was in my bed. So, yeah, like, we don't want negativity from others, so why should we allow our dark cloud to come into somebody else's life? You know what I mean? Like, if you're wanting to be around people, then be around people. If you want to shine light for somebody, shine light for somebody. You know, what's so hard with asking someone, like, are you okay? Like, is there anything that I can help you with today? Like, be that light for others. Be that blessing for other people. Because when you do, like, you have to be a blessing in order to receive a blessing, okay? So always remember that. And remember that you are made for so much more. Just because you're going through a storm or you're faced with an obstacle in your life does not mean that is what you are here for. That just means you needed that to teach you something. You needed that to show you that you are stronger than what you give yourself credit for. So always remember that. Always remember that you are the light for someone else. So know that what it is that you are going through is meant to help somebody else in the long run. So with that being said, hey, Amanda. With that being said, you guys, like, seriously, and check out that interview between Bishop T.D. Jakes and Pastor Stephen Furtick, because it was fire. I promise you, I'm about to go order the book. Actually, it comes out on Tuesday, but I'm about to go pre-order it today because I just said something about it when I was gone. But I wanted to come home and I wanted to share this live because like I said, I've been wanting to come live, but things have just been a little crazy in my life. So that's why you haven't seen me on live. I'm still here. I'm still active on social media. I had to take a seat from doing so many live videos right now just because emotions and things are all over the place. So I like to wait till I'm in a good mindset and a mind frame, and maybe, I also had to talk to God about it. And like God, like today's sermon and the interview with Bishop and Furtick those were almost like signs for me too, because those helped me understand even more what I was going through last year. Like, I already knew some of that through my own self-digging and self-learning, but hearing that the other day was like confirmation, like that I was right where I was supposed to be. I learned exactly what I was supposed to learn. And, and now I'm here to shed the light and bring the light to y'all. So maybe it helps you guys. Maybe you guys are going through something and you're like down in the dumps, but you don't want to talk about it, or you don't have somebody to talk to about it, but you just needed that light to know that, you're going through it for a reason, and you just got to find the positivity in it, and you got to find the message, and you got to know and see yourself on the other side, because I promise you, if you keep moving forward and you keep putting forth the effort, God blesses effort, and you will get through it. So have a blessed Sunday, y'all, and I will try to be back more like I used to be, because I miss coming live on a daily basis and having my conversations with you guys. I know there's been so much change with my son doing cyber school. Like, I am not downstairs, and I like to make my coffee and go live. That was my thing, or make my shake and go live in the mornings. But my days are all different now because cyber school, he literally runs the whole downstairs while I'm upstairs in my office. So I have to figure out another thing to do with live. So anyway, I hope you guys all have a great Sunday, and hopefully you're staying dry, because it's been nothing but like a downpour here. But have a great day and stay blessed and be a blessing to others.